Honorable Justice Subramaniam Prasad, dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, friends, colleagues. I'm not going to read from all the pages. I am the last man standing, as the President said, before lunch, between now and dinner. So, and after my predecessors, the erudite speakers, what they have explained, I don't think I have much to contribute, except from Indian context, because a lot of friends have come from abroad. Explain some of the aspects of digital governance tools available in India, which has an impact in our daily lives, both in the courts and outside the courts. So I'll give you some examples. I don't want to read about it, but how it has made a difference in our lives and how law has affected us positively, negatively, because as just like in coins, there are two sides to it. So some of the digital governance tools available off the court are things like Aadhaar. I don't know if you have heard of Aadhaar, which is a 12-digit unique identification number for anybody in India who wants to access any of these services in the government or otherwise, banking, etc., has to have an Aadhaar. Now, I don't know if you know, India's population is probably 1.45 billion. But can you guess how many Aadhaars have been issued so far? It is 1.35 or 38 billion as of 2025. So virtually 95% of our population, I don't know if this data is accurate because there are probably few million children also, and children don't get Aadhaar when they're born. So the data may be skewed, that is some of the downside, but about 1.3 billion Aadhaar has been distributed, and you need iris scan, that is eye scan, and you need fingerprinting to get an Aadhaar. So everybody is uniquely identified. And the benefit of an Aadhaar is that if I want to open a bank account, I want to do a KYC, know your client. E-KYC, you want to open a stockbroking account. You want to transfer your assets, you want to sell, purchase. Everywhere Aadhaar is the common denominator. It links you. So the benefit of Aadhaar is that I don't have to, every citizen in India doesn't have a passport. Now, passport is a valid form of identification. But since everybody doesn't have, and there are rigors to getting a passport, Aadhaar is much easier to get, and it is treated as de facto identification. Now, we may use it for day-to-day activities, and the benefit of using it is that everything is online. Virtually, I can open a bank account without going to a bank physically, just using my Aadhaar by doing e-KYC. So my mobile phone is linked, my Aadhaar is linked, I can use it. Now, what's the flip side to it? So much of convenience, so much of ease. The biggest flip side to it is that our entire data is now accessible in a server, both with my iris, eye scan, and somebody else can, if a data is hacked, it can be used, misused. There have been reports that last year some Chinese hacker was able to hack our Aadhaar data. Now, what are the ramifications? We don't know, but all our data is lying in a cloud, in a third-party database, which, if misused, can have a complete effect in our life. We have been hearing, I don't know if you have read about digital arrest. There have been cases of people who have been digitally means virtually on phone calls, on WhatsApp, on FaceTime, on telephone, normal calls. They have been threatened that they have been arrested, and there is information which the police has, which is verifiable information, based on which an impression is given that a person who is sitting at home is arrested and he has to transfer X amount of money to get out of that arrest. Now, where are they getting all this information before they make, suppose I receive a phone call, I will not believe anybody if he says that you are under arrest because you have been, you have been transferring X amount of drugs in through this Blue Dart service. But if he gives me credible information, this is your mobile number, this is your bank account number, from this bank account number X amount of money has been transferred, then I will fear that probably an authority is calling me up to inform me, and I may fall into that trap of accepting the conclusion, if I am not probably a lawyer, that yes, I have done something wrong, and if I do not pay up, I will not be released. I may have to spend some time in jail. And fear of going to jail is one of the, a coercive process which every ordinary citizen fears. So he or she may, under that apprehension, pay up some amount to get out of it. In that process, lot of people, lot of senior citizens, lot of innocent people have fallen into that trap and lost crores, means in hundreds and thousands of dollars equivalent, or their entire life savings to save themselves. So this data, which is now available everywhere, if misused, has a huge impact in our lives. We become digital, isolated, in all our life earnings get vanished into it. Similarly, another digital governance tool which we have become so accustomed to is UPI. I don't know if you have heard of UPI, Unified Payment Interface. You go to a Kirana stop, you go to a street vendor, you want to pay him the money. If it is in few rupees, you do not have a change, you can just use a QR code and you can transfer it. It doesn't matter which bank account your money is lying, which bank account his account does he have, he will get the money. Even if it is few rupees, even if it is 10 rupees, 20 rupees, you can do a transaction. Now that kind of convenience has revolutionized our whole country. Now, I don't know, billions of transactions are taking place every day. We are so lucky to have that system. But again, the advantages of having UPI is again that easily our amounts are then transferred out. Our bank accounts, as Justice Prasad was saying, your entire bank account can be wiped out because it's so easy to get the money in and transfer the money out. We have Digi Yatra. If anybody is traveling from within India, from one airport to another, you don't need to print out a boarding pass. You don't need to stand in a queue to get inside the airport. If you are enrolled in Digi Yatra and you have downloaded your boarding pass, just like Apple Wallet, you can go to the airport, outside the airport. There are face scanning machines there. You can show you can show the QR code of your boarding pass and you can enter seamlessly. It saves so much time. Earlier we used to stand outside the airport to get to our chance, when physically they verify your document and then let you inside the airport. Probably 15-20 minutes, half an hour standing outside the airport, depending on how busy that day is. But with now Digi Yatra, it is so convenient that you can go, you can seamlessly enter the airport and you can exit, enter. It's very, very convenient. But what's the flip side? Your entire data of which day you are traveling from wherever you are based, to which airport you are going, which aircraft you are flying in, which seat you are sitting in, how many times a month you travel, all that data is now accessible in that portal, Digi Yatra. Now, if somebody uses that technology positively, he can probably curate for you, knowing your preference, that, oh, you like to travel in, let's say, Air India. Next time you want to travel again to, let's say you're going to Calcutta, it will populate, or it will give you that kind of recommendation that Air India flight is available for such and such date, knowing your habit, because you are frequently traveling, all the data is available in the app. But unfortunately, that same data can be then misused if not properly regulated or not properly kept in that store. Is somebody actually knows when are those days when you are not in town, and maybe when you come back there is nothing in your house because he knows you are not in town. So these are some of the digital governance tools which have positive and negative. Now, talking about courts, I must say our Delhi High Court is most advanced as far as implementation of e-courts, e-filing, electronic hearing, that is virtual hearing, e-inspection. Earlier we used to go and do inspection physically. We had to wait whole day. Sometimes the person would not be able to trace the file. We had to come back because we couldn't get the file. Now you just online, you apply for e-inspection and you are sent the link of the entire court file, and you can download the file in your convenience of your office in the middle of the night. You have access to the file and you are prepared to argue next day. Your court file is matching exactly with the file what the honorable judge is reading. So there is no confusion, you are well prepared, it is access to justice, it is easier, court's time is not wasted. You know exactly which documents are on record, which are not on record, you are better prepared. Similarly, you have e-filing. We had an issue, we earlier used to have an issue of limitation. If you don't file by such and such time, the registry closes, you miss the bus, you are delayed, and sometimes your petition, your case is rejected because of limitation. But now thanks to e-filing, you can file it in the evening, etc., even beyond the court hours. At least your document is on record for that particular day. So those are some of the positive. Now, what's the negative of electronic courts? I can give you only example from virtual hearing. You must have heard of virtual hearing. Lockdown was the reason why everybody adapted virtual hearing so efficiently and quickly in the entire system in India. We all became used to it. We didn't need to go to the court physically when the whole country was locked down, under a lockdown. We could we could appear in the court. Thanks to it, we could still, run our homes because we were not having any work during those few months when everything was under lockdown. But thanks to access to virtual hearing, we were getting opportunity to argue, to present our case and represent our clients who needed our help most at that point of time. Now, that also led to other advantages. For example, if you are doing 2 cases in a day and one court is physically 20 kilometers away, so sometimes you don't need to go to that court. You save your time by virtually appearing from a different location wherever you are. And you still get to defend your case, you still get to represent your client. And it also saves the court's time because court is not giving adjournment or it's not passing over the matter for you to reach from A destination to B destination. But what's the flip side to virtual hearing? Flip side is we started taking it for granted. We misused it. There have been cases, I am very sorry to say, but there have been cases where people have been appearing from washroom while they were answering nature's call. There have been cases, they have been answering when they were having a drink in their hand. They were appearing virtually when they were sitting in the car. So the tools which were given to assist us have been misused. And therefore, as my predecessors have said, that there has to be guardrails, there has to be regulations, it has to be used judiciously, it has to be used in a way that it benefits the system and not is abused by people. So with these few words, I like to thank you. There is so much to make progress, but tools are helping us. Thank you.